And we're convinced that the income and growth strategy that we're deploying at Foresight Solar is implementing the right approach at the moment to drive total shareholder returns, and we remain confident in the portfolio's quality.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Foresight Solar Fund Manager Ross Driver. Ross, very good to speak with you. You've published your full year results today. The operational solar farm assets performed well, and that was despite record poor weather in your largest market.
That's right, Stephen. Great to be with you again. Despite it being the year with some of the worst irradiation in the UK since Foresight Solar listed back in 2013, our portfolio has actually proven how resilient it can be. Globally, we've generated more than 1,000 gigawatt hours of renewable energy this year. And to put that into context, that's about enough to power 370,000 UK homes for an entire year. Our active power price hedging strategy has also contributed to the reliability of that cash flows. And that's given the board the comfort to declare our 8 pence per share dividend for the year with a 1.4 times dividend cover. So it's very well covered dividend for the year just gone. It's also given the directors the ability to announce an 8.1 pence per share, just over a 1% increase in the dividend target for 2025. And we believe the portfolio will generate more than enough cash to meet that goal as well.
Ross, over the last couple of years, you've been following a strict capital allocation policy. Has that changed?
No, not at all. Our capital allocation approach remains prioritising returning capital to shareholders in the current environment and paying down the debt. Then opportunistically, we will be investing small amounts in development stage opportunities that have the potential to deliver future growth. And that's an important part for the fund at the moment, but they're relatively modest amounts at present. We feel that we've been delivering on all of those fronts. In 2024, between dividends and share buybacks as well, we've returned £67 million to shareholders in just this year alone. We've continued to pay down our long-term amortizing debt, and we've employed measures actively there to manage our balance sheet and minimise the financing expenses. We're in negotiations with our lenders to refinance our revolving credit facility and reduce costs further there. But we've kept an eye on future growth. We know it's not possible at the moment to be deploying large amounts of capital, but in bringing through these pipelines, we've now signed a deal to double our proprietary development pipeline in Spain, with up to 400 megawatts of battery storage coming through there to help build the growth for the future.
Ross, how does your proprietary development pipeline contribute to the strategy?
Yeah, sure. For the operational portfolio has now performed well for the last 11 years, and it will continue to generate that income into the future. But these early stage assets, like the solar and battery development projects that we're speaking about, we're looking to develop these, and they offer the opportunity to improve returns over time. So as we develop them and they become ready to build, you have one opportunity to sell them at that stage and capture those returns and redeploy their cash elsewhere. Or we could choose to build them out, like we have done with some of our Spanish projects to date, and then sell them once they become operational. Or have the flip side, they become part of the yielding portfolio as well. So it's all about value creation and all about different points at which to capitalize on that. And if you think about it in simple terms, it's a bit like the steps taken in building new properties. You can buy a plot of land, you can secure planning permission on that plot of land. That increases the value, and then you can actually build a house on it, which creates something of significantly more value than an open field. Each of those steps is a value creation point for the projects.
Ross, as part of your announcement today, you've said you're exploring all options available. What does that mean?
Well, throughout the year, ourselves as the investment manager, along with Foresight Solar's board and directors, who are looking to be very proactive in this market, have met with as many investors as possible to understand their concerns about the current state of the markets and how best to address their priorities. It's fair to say we've heard differing views from shareholders, some asking for capital returns, others showing interest in remaining invested overall in the renewable energy sector. And that's a factor that we're dealing with along with the rest of the sector as well. Everybody's grappling with this. So our objective is to provide the best possible outcome for the majority of our shareholders in this challenging environment in the most efficient and effective manner. There will be more details coming through on this as we release our annual report.
Ross, looking ahead, what's the outlook for renewables and for Foresight Solar?
Yeah, well, it's undeniable that the last couple of years have been challenging. High interest rates have increased the appeal of fixed income products, and that's led to outflows from the renewable investment trust sector. To address that, we quickly implemented our own our own disposal process to confirm valuations and generate cash, return of capital, and to pay down debt. So despite all this market turbulence at the moment, we believe that the future for renewable investment in this country and Europe remains incredibly positive. The sector is backed by supportive governments in both the UK and mainland Europe, and we're convinced that the income and growth strategy that we're deploying at Foresight Solar is implementing the right approach at the moment to drive total shareholder returns, and we remain confident in the portfolio's quality.
I hope you'll continue to keep us updated on progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today, Ross.
Thanks as ever, Stu.
That's Ross Driver, Fund Manager of the Foresight Solar Fund.